In today's news, over 600 public servants could make their exit in the next few years, says Permanent Secretary Dabreo-Lettsome. And 75 firearms and 2,156 rounds of ammunition recovered in less than 9 months in the British Virgin Islands. And over 300 residents came out and supported the CIBC FCIB Walk for the Cure initiative. And Wheatley Administration eyes year-round beautification strategy. Well, viewers, these and more stories when 284 News return.
Introducing a show poised to help guide modern-day men into 21st century distinguished gentlemen. It doesn't always involve suits and bow ties, but raw, real-life lessons. I'm taking you outside in the field to share the journey of some of the BVI's best and brightest men. From East End to West End, Virgin Gorda to Jos Van Dyke, not forgetting Anegada. Our Virgin Islands gentlemen are doing the damn thing. We are the movers and shakers of this generation. The Art of a Distinguished Gentleman. Season 4 by yours truly, Ron Grant. Raising a generation of greatness. Wednesdays at 8 p.m. on 284 Media.
The wait is over. CCT Fire is here. Experience ultra-fast downloads, seamless streaming, and even more reliable connectivity on an all-new fire-blazing super-fast CCT Fiber network. CCT Fire. Bring it home and upgrade today.
Well, welcome viewers to the Wednesday, October 12th edition of 284 News. I am Kamal Haynes, bringing you the latest out of the British Virgin Islands. I want to thank you guys so much for joining us. Well, leading today's newscast, over 600 public servants could possibly leave their posts in the next few years by retirement or otherwise. Well, Permanent Secretary in the Office of the Deputy Governor, Charlene Dabreo-Lettsome, presented the facts on this matter at the launch of the Public Service Compensation Review.
The last census that was done, I believe, in 2011, maybe 2011 or possibly 2017, we were just under 2,400 public officers. And at that time, it was noted, actually last year, it was noted in Standing Finance that we have 300 public officers who are at the stage where they can retire, and another 300 who are just at that 20-year mark. So we have a possibility of having an exit of 600 plus public officers in the next few years. So this is quite a serious situation for us to consider, and we must have ways of continuing to build capacity and ensuring that we are maintaining the level of quality of public officers as we move forward.
Well, Dabreo-Lettsome went on to explain that one of the issues with ensuring proper staffing of the public service is public discontent with the compensation packages currently in places for various roles. While she shared an experience of advertising for a senior post in the Deputy Governor's office and being met with criticism on social media.
The comments were about the pathetic salary that is being paid to that position, and considering the seniority of the post. And the members from the private sector went on to say, who does all of that? That looks like 3 jobs in one. So, Madam Director, we have a task ahead of us to get the job profiles in sync with what the reality is, and to do a lot of convincing so that Governor, Premier, and Deputy Governor will be comfortable in signing off that number that the FS will present.
While this incident, she said, echoed the dire need for undertaking the Public Service Compensation Review. But Dabreo-Lettsome gave a brief explanation of the structure and expected results of the review.
On the 27th of September, the Honorable Premier signed the contract allowing us to engage PricewaterhouseCoopers out of Trinidad and Tobago to undertake a compensation review for the public service. Unfortunately, they're not here with us this morning, but they have sent a message, and we will share that message with you later on in the program. The contract is valued at $302,103 and is expected to be concluded in 9 months, and will produce a model for competitive levels of the public service, a classification system focusing on competencies and not just on position and grade. It will create job families, a job classification or reclassification process, and training of evaluators. a total reward scheme that enables base pay and variable pay, such as allowances, performance bonuses, and other benefits, recommendations for how compensation will keep pace with inflation and market value, and a total reward philosophy that consists of what we need in what we want as a modern public service.
Well, she also noted that moving forward, a steering group and a working group from within the public service will be established to work alongside the consultants and will engage feedback from across the public service. Now moving on, viewers, where the Royal Virgin Islands Police Force continues to record a number of successful breakthroughs, including the recovery of 75 firearms in less than a year and over 2,100 rounds of ammunition. Well, this is according to the Commissioner of Police, Mr. Mark Collins, who made the announcement on Monday as the RVIPF celebrates 55 years of service to the territory this week. Well, Collins at the time was providing statistics to support the progression of the force, showing that his team has been active in solving a number of criminal matters.
I spoke yesterday about the numbers of firearms we've recovered, 75 in the last 8-9 months, 2,156, I think, rounds of ammunition. And I said yesterday, each one of those rounds of ammunition, each one of those bullets is a life that potentially we've saved. So I commend the hard work and everything we do. In 2021, 11 persons charged with murder and put before the courts, unprecedented. And the list goes on. Tons and tons of cocaine recovered. And we do this in collaboration with our colleagues here, our colleagues in the UK, our colleagues in the US, but actually collaboratively together as teams in the Royal Virgin Islands Police Force.
Well, Commissioner Collins also spoke on the progression of internal training of his officers, a commitment he made upon first taking the role. He said the training sessions are critical to the development of the force as they continue to advance their respective standards to ensure that cases are presented at the highest level when reaching the court stage.
Well, this week and last week we've run a sergeant's development course. In the next 2 weeks we run an inspector's development course. This is vitally important, and I made a commitment when I got here that we would increase training and development in the territory, locally delivered by Train the Trainer, and bringing experts in from other territories and the UK to assist us in that training. So we've had senior investigating officers courses, we've had CID courses, financial crime courses, exhibits courses, and the list goes on. And we will need to continue to do that to be professional and to present those cases to the courts, the magistrates' courts and the Crown's court.
While the top cop also hinted at a number of upcoming internal promotions, which he said is on his agenda. He assured the audience that the pending senior vacant positions will be filled with officers who are already part of the force and not external personnel.
And I very quickly want to go in then to recruiting new superintendents, new chief inspectors from within the organisation. No external adverts, from within the organisation. We have the skill and the expertise within the RVIPF to recruit from within, and long may that continue. So superintendents and chief inspector adverts to go out in due course, and then followed up by our sergeants and inspector vacancies, and we will look to run processes to fill upcoming vacancies that we project over the next 12 months.
Well, up next, viewers, over 300 residents came and supported the CIBC First Caribbean Walk for the Cure initiative, and Premier Wheatley Administration's eyes a year-round beautification strategy. But these and more stories after a word from our sponsors.
Freeze. Choose your mix. Choose your flavor.
Yo, everything good, Dad?
Aye. This thing got me one way, Daddy.
What you mean?
Ever since I hook up with this thing, can't eat, I can't sleep. This is the first thing I touch it when I reach home.
What you really? Hey, this ain't like you know.
Dad, this thing got me staying home, keeping out that trouble me.
Wow. What your name is?
Shit. I talking about my city life.
Don't worry about missing your favorite series, sports, news, and local programming. Come to CCT today and sign up for CCT Live to access over 80 channels. CCT Live. Bring it home.
1 month free trial turn into 5. 5 months turn into, well, you know I huff. I watching ball. I been watching football. Dad, Nickelodeon, Paw Patrol. I am hooked. Hook, I tell you.
So you're saying I can ask this cat any question?
The cat is connected to the computer. You just type in the question, it will read his mind. There the answer comes.
You're the man! I've been looking for this for weeks.
Well, welcome back, viewers. Well, over 300 residents came out on Saturday to take part in the CIBC First Caribbean Walk for the Cure charity event as the bank neared its goal of raising $50,000 to donate in aid of the fight against cancer in the territory. Well, the walk began around 5:30 a.m. in the morning, making its way from the branch's main branch on Administrative Drive in Rotown to the Sunday Morning Well in Seacoast Bay and back. But branch manager Fabian Devenish said he was pleased with the turnout and the support shown by the sponsors of the initiative.
Okay, so this was our final event for the year. As you may know, we had 3 other events coming up to this final event. We started this year with Men in Pink. We had Hike for the Cure. We had Hunt for the Cure about 2 weeks ago. And today we culminated with what I consider to be one of the better turnouts that we've had so far. Close to 300 persons walked today. At the beginning of the year, we had set a target of around $50,000 to donate to the Cancer Society. And with that, I want to say that all the funds go to the Cancer Society in aid of persons who are suffering from cancer or impacted by cancer. And I'm not going to make the announcement here, but I can report that we are very close to, if not on that figure. And we didn't do it on our own. I want to thank our corporate sponsors and all the individuals who donated as small as $1 and upwards. Right? Every cent will go towards raising that $50,000 and will go towards the Cancer Society.
Well, President of the BVI Cancer Society, Gloria Foy, thanked the bank for their continued support towards her organization, adding that it was pleasing to see the huge turnout that came out.
It means a lot to the British Virgin Islands Cancer Society that Fabian Devenish and his team, CIBC, partnered with us and has made it a very, very successful event. And I'm so happy this morning because we have registered over 300 persons, I think 300 to 400 persons. So I would say this is an excellent idea for CIBC, a well-known bank, to partner with the BVI Cancer Society.
Foy also revealed that her organization assists at least 30 persons on an annual basis in their fight against cancer, but she encouraged those who may be in need of any assistance to reach out to the BVI Cancer Society as soon as possible.
We probably have about maybe 30 persons coming every year annually to get donations and assistance or whatever. We normally partner with the medical field, so we ask them if anyone knows of anyone who needs to come for assistance, come. And whenever we do an event, we always implore, please come. The funds are yours. We collect the funds and 100% of the fund goes back to the community. So if anyone out there needs help, please contact the BVI Cancer Society at gmail.com or call 499-0022 and you will get yours truly. Gloria Foy.
Well, meanwhile, we also spoke to the reigning Mrs. British Virgin Islands, Dr. Arlene Penn, who is also a cancer survivor. Well, she said it was her first Walk for the Cure event, and she shed light on her personal experience of battling the stigma associated with cervical cancer.
This is actually the first time I'm actually walking for the cure, right? Because for years, I used to tell people that I'm a cancer survivor, but I never used to tell people that I was a cervical cancer survivor because it's very difficult for a woman to talk about her reproductive system because your reproductive system is essentially seen as a prize and the pride of a woman. However, now that I'm Mrs. British Virgin Islands, I have a responsibility, and that is to make sure that women, not just locally, but across the globe, understand the importance of getting their pap smears done. You get them done early because early detection, it saves lives. So my platform is essentially about making sure that not just cervical cancer alone, but all the cancers. So it was important for me to be here for the Walk for the Cure to support the BVI Cancer Society and the First Caribbean Bank in what it is doing, because I believe that the more awareness that comes, that's here, the more people are aware, it's the more people will become involved in what we are doing. And based on what I have been seeing, since I've started this journey as Mrs. British Virgin Islands, so many people have been affected by cancer in so many ways, whether if it's a loved one who lost their lives or someone who's just going through the process or someone who is a survivor. So I want not just the Virgin Islands, but the globe to be a part of this because, again, early detection, it saved lives. It saved mine. And I know that once it saved mine, it can save anyone else's who have the opportunity to just find out if they know. The most important thing is to find out now, you know now, you fix early, and then you can live life beautifully, faithfully, and wonderfully. And once we do that, we will all win together.
Well, moving on to our next story, viewers, where the Wheatley Administration is steadily moving along with its plans to reimagine beautification strategies in the territory by introducing a new year-round beautification mechanism through the Department of Public Works. Well, Premier Dr. the Honorable Natalia Wheatley spoke mainly on the bush-cutting aspect of the initiative during a recent press engagement.
What we're doing now is hiring persons through the Public Works Department. That should be starting shortly. It's just a matter of getting the cabinet paper to the House so that we can embark on that process. But that would have impacted.
Well, in recent weeks, the government has admitted to facing delays in attending to the needs for bush cutting throughout the territory and blamed these delays on a need to change the manner in which contracts are being awarded in line with the recommendations made in the Commission of Inquiry report. Well, Premier Wheatley shed some more light on the issue.
We have, bush cutting, which is very topical, right?
Oh, Lord.
Because of this reform, of course, it's caused a challenge among the governor and others in terms of how the contracts are being done for something like bush cutting. So we have to now adjust, but persons would have been used to a situation where they would be able to get a bush cutting contract, and those persons wouldn't be able to get a bush cutting contract how we did it before.
Wheatley said that despite the initial inconveniences, this provides an opportunity to create a better process.
What we wanted to do is, even though it had an impact on persons and some persons may not like it, use it as an opportunity to try to improve the process. So as opposed to having bush cutting once, twice, 3 times a year, we try to see if we can do it year round and have, instead of the guys, getting the contracts and then, not being able to do anything for a long period in the year, have them to have a steady income, and be gainfully employed.
Well, the Premier added that other activities tasked to those employed through this initiative would include curbside painting and general beautification. Well, up next, Reading is Fun Week 2022, and the BVI USVI Friendship Day celebration turns 50. And we also see CCC advising customers of a maintenance interruption to their phone and internet services tomorrow. Well, we get to those stories when 284 News return.
There's a reason you get up on a morning. A reason you pick yourself up, start the day. Maybe it's sheer grit. Maybe it's your ethics. Maybe it's because you know people like you are waiting for people just like you. We all have our reasons, and for Republic Bank, that reason is you. Every little thing, every big thing, It's all about making a difference in your life. Because after 182 years, if it's one thing we're sure about, is that the difference is you. We're here to help.
Republic Bank, we're the one for you.
Well, welcome back, viewers, and thank you so much for sticking with us. Well, across the territory of the Virgin Islands, this week is being observed as Reading is Fun Week, with a number of activities being planned to promote literacy in the Virgin Islands. Well, both public and private organizations are meeting with students for reading exercise, both in person and virtually. Recently, on an episode of Umoja with our host Cromwell Smith, Education Officer in the Ministry of Education, Mrs. Janice George Harris, spoke about the week's activities.
STEAM, powered by reading. That's the theme for Reading is Fun Week this year, and we celebrate the week from the 10th to the 14th of October. We have many activities within the schools. Each school has their own set of activities, and they have posted on their website and on the government's website as well. So if individuals are interested in what particular schools are doing, they can check out the different school sites and see what they have. From the ministry, we are having a 14-day reading challenge starting today actually, and it will go until the 14th, right? For 14 days. It will go until the 23rd of October. For 14 days. Yeah. And we're so fortunate to have awesome sponsors such as Frontline Systems, Neville Smith, Tola Radio, Dr. Natasha Fred, Island Services, Beacon Bible Bookstore. They're the individuals who are helping us with the reading challenge, and they're giving excellent prizes for adults once you join the reading challenge. First place is $100 gift certificate for groceries. Second place, $75 gift certificate for groceries, and then a third place would be $50 gift certificate for gas. So if anyone out there is interested, you can email us at read at vischools.edu.vg. That's read at vischools.edu.vg.
Well, Mrs. Harris also explained how persons of all ages can participate in the reading challenge.
What exactly is going to be the reading challenge? How is that going to be conducted?
Okay, so it's to find out how many books you can actually read within the 14 days, okay? So it should be at your level. If you're an adult, of course, we don't expect you to read the ABC books. That goes
so all
without
ages,
saying.
all ages are invited.
Well, the schools actually have their own reading challenge. So we have the schools covered, and we just want to extend it to the adults as well.
Okay.
So right now I'm focusing on the adults. So for the adults, you're going to be reading the books, taking pictures of yourself, posting them on your Facebook page, or if you have an office that's doing it together, then you post on your office Facebook page, etc. So you read as many books as you can within those 14 days. You're going to log the books that you read. We'll have the page numbers there on that log, so you wouldn't read a 2-page book and say, oh, I've read a book. So we're also looking at the number of pages that you have read and the titles of the books as well. And then you submit that to the same email address that I shared. And then we will look at the list and we will determine who will be the winner of the first, second, and third place prizes.
Well, additionally, Harris addressed the importance of reading as well as introducing children to reading at an early stage.
Yes, the early years of development, child development, are crucial to reading. Even within the womb, it's important for parents to read to children so that they can hear the voice. Even when they are born, it's important for parents to read aloud to the children because the children are going to pick up vocabulary. And if we read to them, they're going to pick up that vocabulary so quickly that they would have heard over a
So many
million
words.
words. Yeah. Within a short span of time, so that now when they're ready now to go into school, their next developmental stage, they're going to have a vocabulary level that they can actually work with. And if we continue to read and show them that we are interested in reading, we are building lifelong readers, individuals who will be informed, who would be rational problem solvers, critical thinkers, and these are essential for our students to develop. But the bottom line or the foundation is reading.
Well, for more information on Reading is Fun Week, as well as how you can participate, contact the Ministry of Education, as well as individual schools for their calendar of events. Moving on, viewers, where this year's BVI USVI Friendship Day is being hosted by Premier and Minister of Finance, Dr. the Honorable Natalia Wheatley, and will take place in the British Virgin Islands under the theme, Our Golden Jubilee, a Resilient Bond of Friendship. While His Excellency Governor Mr. John Rankin, CMG, Premier Wheatley, and other government officials will welcome USVI Governor Albert Bryan Jr. as well as the delegation to the BVI. A permanent secretary in the Premier's office, Mrs. Carolyn Stop-Igwe, said the celebration comes on the heels of the recently concluded 9th meeting of the Inter-Virgin Islands Council. And Mrs. Igwe said, and I quote, "But Premier Wheatley wanted to ensure that this year's celebration happened, as 50 years is a significant milestone and cannot go unnoticed." She added, "Well, this is an exciting time in the relation of both territories. But the day promises to be a memorable one. We want the people to come out in numbers as we celebrate our friendship with the government and people of the USVI." End quote. But the celebration will showcase various aspects of Virgin Islands culture, including food, drinks, music, poetry, demonstrations, and displays. But the public is invited to attend the ceremony at 10 a.m. dressed in territorial wear, and in celebrations of the Cyril B. The celebration will be at the Cyril B. Romney Tortola Pier Park. But the last USVI BVI Friendship Day was celebrated in 2019 on St. Thomas. But the objective of the celebration is to reflect on the shared bond, history, and culture of the Virgin Islanders from both territories. Now moving on to our final story, viewers, where the Caribbean Cellular Telephone Limited is advising customers in the areas of Anegada, Virgin Gorda, East End, and Hodges Creek of a partial interruption to service delivery from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. on Thursday, October 13th. But this this, according to CCT, is the purpose of maintaining their backbone fiber network. While the maintenance is scheduled to occur for approximately 4 hours, during which time access to phone and internet services will be intermittent. But the telecoms company has advised customers experiencing any issues within the service after the 4-hour window to please reboot your modem to help remedy the problem. What they say, if the issue still exists, so please call their call center for further assistance at 444-4444. That is 444-4444. Well, that's it for today's news roundup. Viewers, be sure to follow us for daily news updates at 284media.com and like us on Facebook at 284media and 284BVI on Instagram and Twitter. I'm Kamal Haynes, and I'll see you again tomorrow. Have a safe and enjoyable evening. Bye-bye.
Yo, everything good, Dad?
Aye. This thing got me one way, Daddy.
What do you mean?
Ever since I hook up with this thing, can't eat, I can't sleep. This is the first thing I touch when I reach home.
What do you really? Hey, this ain't like you,
Dad, this thing got me staying home, keeping out of trouble me.
Wow. What's your name is?
Shit. I talking about my CCT life.
Don't worry about missing your favorite series, sports, news, and local programming. Come to CCT today and sign up for CCT Live to access over 80 channels. CCT Live. Bring it home.
1 month free trial turn into 5. 5 months turn into, well, you know I huff. I watching ball. I been watching football. Dad, Nickelodeon, Paw Patrol. I am hooked. Hook, I tell you.